If you've ever watched a day in the life of a software engineer on YouTube, you already know exactly how this goes. Wake up at 9 a.m., make a matcha latte, float into an office with zero stress, eat 8 meals, film every dessert, sit at a laptop for 12 seconds, and somehow that's supposed to represent a $300,000 tech job. I'm a software engineer at Meta, and I've lived the lifestyle everyone makes videos about, but almost nobody accurately portrays. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what it actually looks like, the work, the meetings, the remote versus office reality, and the parts that nobody talks about. If you want the real version of what it's like to work at one of the most competitive companies in tech, not the highlight reel, stay until the end. So let's start with some context first, because not all Meta roles are the same. Before the day even starts, you need to understand that a day in the life at Meta is going to look wildly different depending on your team, your manager, and whether you're remote, hybrid, or in the office. I'm currently hybrid on an infrastructure team supporting internal developer tools, and infrastructure is not the flashy front-end feature work that you see in content. It's deep back-end, proprietary meta languages, and internal systems that are built for meta engineers rather than external customers. So that means there's a really different vibe, a different responsibility, and a different rhythm than product teams. So let's start with the beginning of the day and what it actually looks like. I wake up, go to the gym, shower, and get ready. It's normal life. There's no avocado toast, there's no journaling, and there's no $9 lattes. 30 to 45 minutes for me in the gym is usually enough to feel awake and avoid sitting like a shrimp for 8 hours. I'll also then check the calendar before anything else. Are there a lot of meetings today? Am I interviewing candidates? Is this a deep work day or a chaos day where bugs blow up everything? You can usually tell how a day is going to feel before it even starts. Now, on remote days, I don't have to worry about this, but on office days, I have to take the shuttle to get to work. And here's the reality. Meta runs shuttles and people film them like it's some luxury experience. The commute is 30 minutes each way. That's an hour a day, 5 hours a week, 240 hours a year. You lose 10 full days of your life every year just sitting on a shuttle. But on the shuttle, I'd scroll messages or review pull requests. Nothing poetic. But once I arrived to the office, I'd badge in and grab some breakfast from the micro kitchen, maybe some Greek yogurt, a banana, or some oatmeal. The micro kitchens are nice, but they're not Willy Wonka's factory. It's just free food, that's it. And then I'd sit down, open my laptop, check the build status, check tasks, and then get into coding. So let's talk about the actual work, which is what nobody mentions in the conventional day-in-the-life videos. Meta requires you to essentially relearn how to code. Meta uses proprietary tools, internal systems, internal frameworks, internal APIs, internal everything. And it's not that the languages are necessarily harder, they're just completely unique. And until you understand them, you're going to be a lot slower than the average person, and that learning curve is real. The hardest part about working at Meta isn't the coding, it's the context, because the systems are massive, the dependencies are massive, and the internal knowledge required is also massive. So what a real morning coding session would look like is something like this. Code, test, break something, fix, ping a teammate, push, get reviewed, refactor, and repeat. If I get stuck with a problem that I'm not able to solve in a reasonable amount of time, I would ping someone on internal messenger. Sometimes they would hop on a call instantly, but other times they're in deep work and they would reply in 30 minutes. Both are completely normal. Now let's talk about the truth of meetings. Contrary to what you'd assume, Meta isn't meetings all day, but your experience does depend on your team. Small meetings are genuinely useful, like one-on-ones or small planning sessions or design reviews. Large meetings, on the other hand, are generally awful in my opinion, and they're usually a waste of time. I believe that the value of a meeting decreases exponentially as the attendee count goes up. So 2 people is going to be very useful for a meeting. 3 to 5 people is still pretty helpful, but 10 plus, you're basically a studio audience member just watching 2 people talk. And this is one area where I feel like the remote advantage really shows up, because sitting through a useless meeting at home feels like far less of a soul collapse than sitting through it in a conference room in person. When a meeting is pointless remotely, you at least don't lose another 20 minutes walking back to your desk. And by the way, if you want the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta, click the first link in the description and I'll send it to you for free. But for now, let's get back to the video. So let's talk about the part that new grads don't expect, which is interviewing other engineers. This is something that nobody usually tells you before you join, but Meta expects almost every engineer to contribute to hiring, and it starts pretty early. As a new grad, I was doing internal phone screens, new grad interviews, technical evals, feedback submissions, and pass-no-pass decisions. This takes real time and focus out of your afternoons. And why it actually matters is because interviewing other candidates is going to actually make you 10 times more empathetic, because you see how nervous people are, how arbitrary small mistakes can be, and how differently candidates interpret the exact same question. It really changes how you think about your own interviews and your own career, and it also gives you the direct insight into what separates the candidates who get hired from the ones who don't. So working remotely or working in person at the office, which one is better? I believe that remote is the superior version, and here's why. There's fewer interruptions, which means you get more deep work done. There's no commute, so that means you get more time back in your day, and you have more control over your environment, which means you're in a better flow. The remote day rhythm looks something like this. You wake up, gym, shower, sit down, and you're in flow instantly. There's no shuttle, there's no small talk on the way in, there are no micro kitchen detours, and there's no awkward bump-ins. You get the pure version of your job, coding and collaborating without the noise. When it comes to working in person in the office, there are some trade-offs. I think it is better for certain types of collaboration and relationship building, but it's worse for focused deep work. And the commute math alone makes remote days more productive by default, in my opinion. When it comes to my personal setup, I never really worked from cafes. The laptop, cappuccino, and background jazz vibe isn't for everyone. What I prefer is a quiet, predictable environment that's optimized for focus, because that's the environment where the best work happens. Now, afternoons were a mix depending on the day, but they usually include coding, code review, interviewing candidates, cross-functional planning with PMs, debugging, reading documentation, and dealing with unexpected fires. The real rhythm is something like code, interview, code, meeting, code, review, ping a teammate, code, break something, fix it, code. I could probably bucket almost every single workday into 3 different moods that the end of the day would fall into. I'd either have a productive flow where I ship things, close tasks, and push code. That day feels great. There's also meeting heavy days where you technically worked, but it doesn't really feel like it. And there's also fire days where something broke, people scrambled, and you're debugging until everything stabilizes. But each day I'd usually wrap up around 6 p.m., take the shuttle back from the office, get home, unwind, and repeat. Now let me tell you the honest summary of what Meta actually is. It's deep work and a steep internal learning curve. It's meetings that matter and meetings that don't. You're going to have both of them. It's also a hybrid rhythm that favors remote, in my opinion, for focused output. And also there's interviewing responsibilities that start earlier than most people typically expect. And overall, it's a lifestyle that's genuinely good, but it's much quieter, more structured, and more focused than the highlight reels online. What Meta is not is, it's not a matcha latte aesthetic, it's not a food tour of the campus, it's not an extended vacation with occasional coding, and it's not the paradise that some creators turn it into. It's still an incredible job with incredible opportunities, but the reality is that it's a real job. And the people who thrive there are the ones who show up prepared, stay focused, and do the actual work. So that's the real version of what it's like to work at Meta as a software engineer. No glamorizing, no cinematic nonsense, just the actual truth. And if you want to take the next step towards landing a role like this yourself, click the first link in the description and grab the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta. It's completely free. And if you're not ready for that yet, I highly recommend watching the video on screen next, where I break down exactly how I got into Meta and the roadmaps you can follow to do the same. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.